Ever wonder what really goes on in the world of offshore oil rigs, wind farms, and the energy industry that powers your life? Find the answers to those questions and more on the podcast Wind, Waves, and Wells with Joe. Wind, Waves, and Wells with Joe pulls back the curtain and shares the raw, unfiltered stories from the front lines of energy. From offshore drilling disasters to wind turbine advancements, Joe brings on people who've lived it, worked it, and have the scars or the laughs to prove it. When you tune into Wind, Waves, and Wells with Joe, you'll hear jaw-dropping experiences like being 100 meters underwater with no air, to real conversations about safety, environmental impact, and the politics that don't make it into the brochures. It's insight, storytelling, and sometimes controversy, and always honest. If you're an energy insider or just someone curious about the wild world that keeps the lights on, Wind, Waves, and Wells with Joe is the podcast for you. Available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Real people, real stories, no filter. Wind, Waves, and Wells with Joe. Start listening right now.
Well, how was Brazil anyway?
Brazil was good, mate. It was long. Like as you know, I haven't done very many trips of late. So yeah, it was good. It was just me by myself in a strange country, traveling and looking after myself and going to 3 different rigs, well, FPSOs. So yeah, just doing surveys and stuff. It was interesting.
Have you got a lot of work over there?
No, this is for, as Richie Brown said, the other side of the business, or the dark side of the business.
The deluge. The other side.
So yeah, just going over and doing some surveys for a few clients. So that was good, really good. But yeah,
how long was that? The first time you've been offshore for a while?
Yeah, yes, it was. Done a couple of jobs onshore and stuff like that, but yeah, it was the first time away, especially by yourself for a while, and that was it was a bit weird. But yeah, I got a bit of time on the beach and stuff like that, so I got quite a few nights in hotels onshore. It was decent, like.
Where were you? Rio?
Yeah, so I did a night in Rio at the hotel, then I had to travel up to a place called Cabo Frio. So yeah, I did 3 nights in a hotel there, just right opposite the beach, which was lovely. And then went offshore for 4 days, came back to Rio, and I was in Rio for 7 to 10 days in a hotel, holed up. And then I went, where did I go after that? Up to, I've forgotten the name of the place already. It was that memorable. Oh, Campos. Have you been to Brazil now?
No, I've not done Brazil. I've only gone as far as Trinidad.
Yeah, so I went up to Campos, I had a couple of nights there, and then offshore again for 3 days. Then I had to travel again on a bus, which was actually the best bus I've ever travelled on. Lay flat seats and everything, because they've got no trains in Brazil. So travelled up to a place called Vitoria, which was that was really nice. Spent a few nights there, had a good time, and then went offshore for 4 nights, 4 days again. So 3 trips.
What are those FPSOs like? Are they right?
Brand new, mate. Yeah, pretty much brand new. 4-man cabins for 2 of them, which was unfortunate, but some of us have got to slum it. Yeah, we've done worse, Joe, haven't we?
Good old multi-rooms, yeah.
Multi-rooms. The OIM's day room.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking about that actually before we started this one. When was the last time I seen you? But we weren't actually working for the same company. I was out with another.
That's right. I was trying to think what rig that was.
Britannia, I think it was. I was looking from my Vantage today actually, because the company I'm working for were after something anyway, and I went online on my Vantage because it's not been used for a while.
Yeah,
just we've been on vessels more now, and it was Britannia, and then it clicked. I was like, what was it doing? Oh yeah. And then
I remember bumping into you. I was trying to think of that one today. Actually, I was like, where was it? I don't know, because I couldn't remember what I was doing, because I was obviously subcontracting then, you know. So it was. That's good that you remembered. I knew you would. knew you would.
Yeah, no.
Joe never
I
forgets.
do remember quite a lot of my trips. No,
I bet you don't know what written down.
no, I did have a tally.
Pin marks in a map in the North Sea. You do, don't you?
I still have a tally book, but no, not anymore. I did have it on my tally book. I think the first one or two tally books I had, I kept track of them on the back pages, but that went long out the window a few years ago. But I do remember actually from Nigeria, which really, really, really sticks with me, was many people must die.
That was right. Oh my God, that was. And the guy on night shift sleeping in the little inset in the steelwork.
I couldn't for the life of me think why he was singing that, but I think it was almost there was a time where we were all there was a worry about pirates, and obviously they said, look, if they come on board, we're giving you up, and then this guy was just walking around the vessel or the FPSO, sorry, going singing many people
will die. Oh yeah. Oh my God, that was crazy.
I was thinking of that song today. I started singing it to myself as well, actually.
yeah. Brilliant. That was good. That was a good trip. Apart from when I spewed a lot of stuff in the chopper, mind, and then nearly shot
in the chopper. Yeah,
afterwards.
That was. But to be fair, to be told you're going out for 6 weeks and come back, well, I came back nearly 3 months later. And
well, I was so
left
quite up, but I was
you had enough by then, had you?
I was just under 2 months because we'd gone back to the hotel for that because they were offloading the FPSO, and we had I don't know how many days we had there, but I was like,
I think it was about 2 or 3 days, was it?
I felt brand new. And as soon as we got in the chopper to go back offshore, I fell asleep. Woke up 5 minutes later. I thought, that was a great sleep. And then it's just all over myself. Because Stevie Nichols sat beside me going, oh no, I'm desperate not to spew on him. And then finally finished spewing. I got some of it in the sick bag, this little sick bag, but it's all over my legs. And then I near shit myself immediately afterwards. I just arrived on the heli deck. I'm like, what do I do with this sick bag? And the chopper crew's like, what is it? Swear everywhere. Spew on the heli deck and everything. I was like, oh my God. As soon as I got in a heli admin, I was like, I just need to get off here now. I need to go home. That's it. I'm done. I am done.
To be fair, that trip did really battle with some people's mental ability. Did it? Oh my God! I remember poor Jock. He went out and he was just in the ringer.
Oh,
and he lost something like 8 kilos in 4 weeks.
Well, I lost 5 kilos after when I came. I was weighing 5 kilos and I didn't need to lose anything. But poor Jock, I remember
he lay back nearly 2 stone later.
He was not having a good time. I think that was his first and last trip for us. He didn't last very long.
Yeah,
he was like, nah, I'm out.
I'm not down this, guys. Thanks. I felt for everything went wrong. He got his finger trapped in the iron one night and stuff like that. And he had a big finger. He came out like this. His finger was like black and blue. He's like,
Oh, yeah. Questioning his choice of employer.
What the hell did I do?
Yeah. Oh, man. Good times, girl. Good.
They were the good old days. Before I met you, though, how did you get into this game?
So, I was, I was always wanting to go offshore. When it was my ambition when I was leaving school, I was like, right, I want to get offshore. And a lot of my family were offshore already, like uncles and stuff like that. So I was like, right, how do they get offshore? Right. You went to college and did this course and that course. I'll do the same. Now, I left school because I hated it. So why on earth would I go to college and want to sit in another classroom when I already hated doing that? I have no idea. So I stumbled through that for 2 years and then decided I'm not doing well here. Let's leave. So I joined the RAF and got my apprenticeship. And that was my decision, was go in there, get an apprenticeship and leave. You know, it's not a career path, you know. For me, it was just a way to get an education without sitting in a classroom all day, learn on the job, you know. So I did that, and then once I got out after 4.5 very long years, I ended up leaving and I got a job in the airport for very briefly, which I also hated. So I was just applying for jobs, and I applied for a job at a company called SureClean back in the day, which was quite close to where I lived. Ended up getting an interview. Missed that interview because I went out in the piss the night before and met one of my heroes because I was at his gig, and managed to blag another interview. So eventually I got the job, and next thing I knew I was offshore a few months later. So yeah, it was good. It was good. It's kind of.
Where was your first trip?
Where was my first trip?
Yeah.
Brent Bravo. You ever been on that one?
Oh shit. Yeah, we went out there again.
Yeah.
I went out there with you as well a few years later.
See,
Remember
got this written down somewhere.
to do the shite lines? No, I haven't. I just remember I've been on one of the Brents, and we went out on that Brent Bravo again. And I remember that one.
Oh, probably. I've done that many shite jobs, Joe.
No, that's a lie. That's a lie. I'm thinking the barrels. No,
Barrels, Barrels, wasn't it? I've definitely done.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that one. It wasn't. No, I was Brent Charlie. So I'm speaking rubbish. Sorry. Yeah, no, it was barrels.
Yeah. So yeah, Brent Bravo was my first trip offshore. Wild. It was. We were cleaning out mud pits. I was what they called a pump engineer, so just running a jetting unit. But obviously, your first trip offshore, they're like, yeah. You might be the pump engineer boy, but you're getting in there and doing the job same as us. So you just do it, don't you? But Shell's just there's a lot of paperwork on those rigs, isn't there?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a bit. I was a bit like, oh, what's going on? But yeah, that was my first trip. I can remember getting induction and that, like, proper green hat. Like, yeah, wandering about the rig, showing your lifeboat, showing you all that, having a tour around the place, and then you come to the gratings, and it's just the sea below you. I'm like, trying to walk on the steel work and that, like the steel beams. Oh, hated that. But yeah, got over that quite quick. But yeah, that was a long time ago. I actually remember.
I do that as well.
Yeah, but you still do that. Well, it depends what rig you're on, I suppose. You know what I mean? Some of them you have to do that. Yeah. I remember actually speaking to a guy on that Brent Bravo, and he says, "Oh, you're from Inverness, so yes, I'm right enough, so I am." He's like, "Oh, so whereabouts to stay in that?" Got chatting and that. So turns out my girlfriend at the time, my son's mother, this guy was next door neighbours to her parents. I was like, no way.
Oh God!
First trip offshore, and that's how small the world is, you know.
Yeah, it is the small world.
It is. It's crazy the people that you meet. That you know, some people you've never met before, but you know people who know people. It's like, wow, crazy.
Yeah. So short clean, and then how long were you there for?
I was there from 2007 to 2011, so 4 years now. Just under 4 years, 3.5, 4 years. And then I moved on to Pastures New. Don't know if I'm allowed to say the company names or what, but
no, I tried to tell people to avoid saying it.
Yeah. But Shirley's back up and running now, isn't it?
Sorry. God, they've changed their name, don't they? Oh
no, they
didn't change their name.
Yeah, no.
Oh really?
They don't have a yard up in Alness anymore, but they've still got the one in Old Meldrum, I think.
Oh right, I didn't realise they changed their name back because they went to NRC or something like that, didn't they?
That's right, but NRC just had what they did with the company. But yeah, the guy, one of the guys that was running Ocean came in and started up Shore Clean again.
Right, okay.
Weird, but yeah, they're on the go again. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to it.
So then,
sorry, you go.
So at said company, and then how long were you there for?
The next company after the first company.
Yeah. I don't know. Some people are happy to say it, like what companies for. I'd rather people didn't unless they weren't concerned about.
Yeah, I'll maybe not mention the company I currently work.
Yeah, for. I would neither. No, but I kind of say like because obviously the oil and gas is it's still quite a it's like secretive as hell, isn't it? Really, like, so I don't think any form of news is just literally bad news in oil and gas. To be honest, you can't even see.
Mate, it's just getting more and more grim by the day. Like,
Mm.
it's just quite unsettling, like, and frustrating for quite a lot of us. So yeah, there were we. Moved on to the next company.
There.
And I was there for about 8 years. Doing rope access stuff, and yeah, loved that job. And then I had to leave, and I went self-employed. So that was okay. Self-employed for 4.5 years, which is okay. But I'm glad I don't have to go chasing work anymore. So many times you accepted trips and then you get let down and last minute, and then you've turned down so many other trips. I mean, you'll know yourself, Joe. No,
I know.
It's just cutthroat, like, you know.
Yeah.
I always like to have the trips lined up, but it was very hard to do that, you know. Very hard to make that happen. So So then, I finally spoke to our good friend Richie Brune, because I did one trip for said company, and
it's funny because said company people will know what said company is.
They will. And ended up rejoining said company, which has worked out really well for me, and I always enjoyed working for them anyway. So I'm now back there, and I am now in the office rather than offshore. So that is enjoyable, and it's a totally different side of things for me as well. I never used to appreciate the amount of work that goes into sending a job offshore. You know when you get offshore and you get a container and there's something missing or whatever, like some tools or whatever's missing, and you're like, and the office or the workshop, they're rubbish, blah blah blah, and it's not that easy, mate. It's not like there's so many things that go on that for that kind of things to not be sent out or whatever, or to be missing from the container that they send offshore. It's there's a whole backstory to all these things, you know.
There'll still always be a divide, don't there?
That's the problem.
It
is, and that's kind of why I wanted the job in the office, because there comes a point like when you're going offshore and you get a bit sick of it. You know what I mean? Especially the older you get.
Yeah.
For me, like, I mean, I could have stayed offshore, but I saw that job opportunity on LinkedIn. So like nobody had mentioned through the company that they were looking to take someone on in the office for that job role in my department. But I was actually in Brazil for the other side of the business, doing a trip, helping them out, and I phoned Big Kirky Boy and asked about it, and he said, "Oh, are you serious about it?" And I says, "Yeah, man." He says, "Well, when you get back, come in and we'll have a chat." And the rest, they say, is history. So, best thing I ever did, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I get the best of it.
Say, happy now?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm through in Aberdeen 4 days a week and work from home 1 day a week. So, I've got the best of both worlds. Home every weekend, most weekends anyway. Do the odd trip now and again to help out if I can, or if it's required. And yeah, it's just a nice balance,
Yeah, no, it probably is actually. They probably got the best of both worlds, like you say. Where's the best place you've ever worked world-wise? Where did you enjoy working?
Oh, I mean, I think so many places. Azerbaijan was pretty good. I was in Baku. Yeah. That was a good trip. That was with my first company, and 4 guys went over there. 1 senior engineer, and then myself and another engineer, Gary Smith. Remember him? He used to work with us.
Yeah, I do remember Gary. Yeah.
And then another guy, Ali, and we were out there vacuum cleaning a mud tank for a rig out there. So we had a few nights on the beach and that, and oh my god, what a laugh we had. I can remember I was quite excited because I think it was my first sort of like real overseas trip going offshore. And so we had to fly Inverness down to London. So I had the night out, and I was like, I've never been on a night out in London. So, all right, come on, we'll go out on a night out in London. So, gee whiz. We were out in Soho, and you name it, in strip clubs and all sorts, and it was mental. 5 a.m, back to the hotel. Got to be at the airport for 8 to check in to get the flight to Azerbaijan.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in my hotel room, and it's a twin room. One of the guys hasn't turned up yet. He rocks up an hour before we're leaving. I was like, I'm absolutely blutered. Right? So we're trying to get on this flight, and I'm feeling rough, so rough, so bad. And we're like getting ready to board, hand over our boarding passes to go through onto the aircraft, and I'm like, getting really hot and sweaty, and I need to run, and I had to run to the nearest toilet, spew my guts up, and then get on that plane, and I just slept the entire time. When we landed, got to the hotel in Baku. Your man that didn't arrive back in his hotel room till an hour before we were supposed to leave, is going through all his receipts from the night before in London. Oh my!
Oh no, bad move. Like
credit cards maxed, strip card. I remember seeing him in one of the strip clubs because we lost him. Right, we lost him. He's going solo, and we're like, me and Gary Smith are like, oh shit! I maybe shouldn't have mentioned his name. Me and the other fella were walked into the strip club, and we at the end of the bar ordered a drink, and all we see is the other guy at the far end of the bar, sitting either side of him, big bottle of champers, buying everyone drinks. We'd ordered our drinks, and we actually didn't realise he was there until the barman came over and said, "It's all right, he's got it." Oh my God, it's Harry. And that was the last of him. That
cheers, mate. It's good of you, pal.
Honestly, and even worse, like 2 weeks after that job had finished, he got another credit card bill through that his missus had opened. 8.5 grand in total in one night.
That's a good effort. That's a really good effort.
I mean, he's never made even half of that on that trip, I don't think.
Rumour has it he's still paying it now.
Oh, mate, I was like, oh my God, I felt sick for him, man. But that was good fun. That was good fun, that one. So Azerbaijan, yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that trip. Yeah, not just for those reasons, but went out there and we had a blast out there. We had a couple of nights out in Baku, and like I remember 2 of us got in one taxi and the other 2 in another taxi, and we're like, right, we're gonna need to beat them, but to where we're going, like we were going to this nightclub. Oh, honest to God, man. The guy, our taxi driver is like, we're stuck at traffic lights. It's all right, we'll just go up on this pavement. And this place is hitting till. Honestly, bonkers. He was desperate to beat the other taxi more than we were. Just a bit of banter, like, but good fun out there. The rig was good. Everyone was sound out there. Sharing a room with a guy out there from Forest, just along the road from Inverness. You know, it's like going all the way, you know, all the way to another country, and you're sharing a room with someone that lives 25 minutes from you. It's wild. Yeah. Wild. So many times that happens. So many times, but yeah, Azerbaijan was good.
It's you know what I got? I think I put a comment up there. I put someone on LinkedIn the other day, and some boy put a really good comment actually saying that, you know, maybe the energy industry is more glorified than it is, but then obviously, you know, everyone's got these kind of stories and stuff like that. But I think, and you'll probably agree as well, that's probably what sticks out in terms of the whole thing, because they're probably the good nights. Obviously, the whole trip's not like that, is it, by any means?
No. Well, do you know what that trip actually was? It was a good group of guys.
Oh, never mind it.
That trip actually was. It was a good group of guys. Just like we had the chaos and we had the job, which was going all right, and it went fine. I had a couple of hiccups along the way, but yeah, no, it was a good laugh all round. A good laugh all round.
Were you out there for quite a while, were you?
4 weeks, I think. 4 weeks, something like that. That was only because our vacuum unit had broken down, and we were waiting for some parts to come over. But yeah, other than that, it was sound. Made it.
What's the best role you've had offshore?
The best roll I've had offshore?
Yeah.
A bacon roll.
That joke.
Yeah, sorry. I do that better.
Yeah.
Best roll offshore. Best role offshore. I probably just supervising, doing the ropes, and working on the deluge and stuff like that. It's I really enjoyed that the first time round. Yeah, it was great bunch of guys. You know, you've been working with yourself now and again, Joe. Remember that back in the day? When you had your ropes?
Yeah, back in the good old days. Yeah. When forgetting hate the ropes. I hate heights now. Still hate heights this day.
But I mean, the majority of our work was not really that high, was it? It was just climbing about the place and clipping on, you know.
There was a couple of times with the edge on the 40s.
Yeah.
And it was one of them where you seen that little FRC or the just bobbing around the standby rest of I was like, nah, man, I don't know. Like,
well, I'd be happy that's there. Like, that's there. You know,
yeah,
that's
when you look at the 40, you think to yourself, nah, that guy, especially if it's a bit choppy as well, and you can barely see it. Sometimes you think to yourself, nah, mate, that's not.
Yeah, I just look at FRC and think, those poor guys in there, man, they must be sick.
Yeah, I know.
I know how you'd be. I know I would be. Yeah, but I suppose, going over the side, hanging over the side's never fun for the majority of people. I mean, you get the crazy people that actually do enjoy that kind of thing, but if your arsehole's not going twitching like a rabbit's nose, then you're not normal, in my opinion.
No.
You know, you've got to have that fear to respect it, you know?
Yeah, that's true. What's the closest call you've had offshore in terms of near miss or whatnot?
What, myself, or in terms of being in a cruise or something?
Yeah, the full spectrum.
So I had a job with a company when I was contracting, actually, where I was running a jetting unit for some decon work, and the supervisor, he was quite a young guy, supervisor, but experienced doing the jetting, you know. So anyway, normal night, just fired up the jetting unit after all the paperwork, you know, rigmarole. So it was quite near to midnight before we even got started doing the work, but it wasn't long. We started up the jetting unit, away he starts jetting, and then maybe 15 minutes later, you get this shout, stop the jetting unit, and I was like, oh, what's going on? So I went and hit the emergency stop, made my way over to the decon, and I was asking what was going on, you know. So the other guy, the standby man that was there, he was saying that the guy that was jetting had felt an injury, something had happened. So I was like, right, what's happening? When you're doing jetting, you know, if you've got any kind of water jetting injury, any kind of water injection, then, you know, it's serious stuff, you know, it can be really dangerous. So I instantly went and phoned this control room and explained the situation. So as soon as I hung the phone up, muster alarm goes off. Now we're talking 2 a.m, whatever, you know, 1, 2 a.m. Everyone's out their bed. I was like, oh no. Coast Guard comes out, picks the boy up, takes him to Shetland or wherever it was, to hospital. Turns out it wasn't a water jetting injury. It must have been a bit of rust. Came up from him, but pierced his skin, but he panicked. And I was like, oh God. But yeah, that's a close call. Horrendous. It's a horrendous thing to have to deal with, is just the thought of somebody being injured on one of your jobs, and you know, being part of that, and it wasn't fun, like, but yeah, we did everything right. You know, we did what we needed to do, and it was just lucky that it wasn't a serious water jetting injury, you know?
For people that might not know about water jetting, how does it work? What is it?
So, if you know, for surface preparation, you know, you want to get rid of rust off a rig or whatever, and then repaint it. You typically would not always, but you would get a water jetting crew out there and blast the rust off for prepping for a new coat of paint, So you're working with pressures, high pressure works up to 15K. And then you've got ultra high pressure, which is like 36,000 PSI, So a lot, but it's, it's a very dangerous job to do if you don't know what you're doing. You have to be very safety conscious. Everybody gets lax with it now and again, but things like that sort of open your eyes.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I did a bit with you, obviously, and I totally agree. Like it is quite scary. I think when you see especially when you hear it, the noise of it's pretty unbelievable. Especially when you're going through pipes and stuff like that. The noise is certain
gen heads and that you use, it can be. But it's very easy to sort of get a bit lax with it. You have to be on the ball all the time when you're doing it, especially when you're jetting in a pipe, and pulling back out. If you not got that hose marks and stuff like that, you've got to hope that your pedal man is there to save the day in that event.
Yeah. What I mean, obviously now you're in the office, and I mean, I've had a couple of people on now. You speak about the mental aspect of it.
Yeah.
Do you think there is a certain type of mental aspect you have for going offshore? I put a few things up once, and people have obviously, given the usual lovely comments and stuff like that, saying it's just a job, mate, and stuff like that. And maybe it is for certain aspects. I always think some people. So take the North Sea, for example, most people are doing 2 weeks, some 3.
Yeah.
But then for people like, ourselves, that we're ad hoc and doing long periods of time away, is there, it is, I think it's a lot different to just going out and doing 2 or 3 weeks and coming home and stuff like that. I don't know if you'd agree, but
yeah.
But do you think that it does take a sort of mental attitude in some way?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it all depends on what's going on in your home life as well at this time, and how mentally strong you are. If you're arguing with your missus before you go away and stuff like that, you've got no hope of lasting very long, you know what I mean, until that's rectified. There's that side of it. I think you've got to deal with quite a lot,
Aye. Yeah, I think you're right there. Actually, I was actually on a job with one boy who went back. He said, "Look, I'm not in the right place." He was doing a pretty important job as well.
Yeah.
And with fairness, that if it went wrong,
Yeah. So he's done the right thing then. That's exactly.
Yeah, I think to some extent.
There's no shame in that.
What do you think helps you through the harder trips when you're away?
Definitely lots of phone calls, lots of phone calls, friends, family, and all that, and just keeping updated. Because when you're offshore, you miss out on so much, and that's kind of why I took a job in the office. It's like I missed out on so much of everything over the years. With Miles and my kids, and and my girlfriend and her kids and stuff like that as well. So you do miss out. You don't realize it at the time, but you do. And you look back, you realize how much you've actually missed out on.
Mm.
So it's good now. It's good now not having to go away for long periods of time.
Was there something that clicked that made you decide that's it? I'm done.
Nah, not at all. Like I said, I was offshore in Brazil for the other side of the business, and it just on LinkedIn because I was bored, and I was like, I'm looking for someone. Oh. Said then.
Oh, my. I'll try. I'll have to try and remember where it is.
Right, 33 minutes that was, right? Make a note. 33 minutes. I knew I'd do it.
I'll mark it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I knew you would as well, to be fair.
Oh, man.
Okay, I'll tell him. To put a beep over it.
Beep. So saw that on LinkedIn and just decided, I want to go for that. So it wasn't like something I was actually looking for at the time. I just noticed that advert and said, I want to try that, and that's how it happened, just out of the blue.
you're lucky. I mean, I guess now you're in a fortunate position where you've had the best of both sides. What would you say though to someone who is considering to go work offshore now?
I mean, the industry's not what it was, you know. It is on the decline, but there is still work out there. There is still rigs and FPSOs and that you can get work on, and if it's what you want to do, just go for it. You know what I mean? It's a bit easier now, I would say, for people that have never been offshore, you know, that want to go offshore to get into the industry. A lot of the guys that go offshore for our side of the business, there's a good 4 or 5 of them that are brand new to offshore, you know, not just this year. And yeah, it's giving these guys a chance now. Yeah, I mean, it's fresh faces in the industry. That's what we need, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is in an unfortunate position at the moment. I think you said it's in the decline. Unfortunately, it's in decline now because of a certain amount of external factors, should we say. It shouldn't be in the same situation. I actually did a podcast earlier on today before I did it with you, and it was with someone that'll be released. I don't know when it'll be released. It was before or after. You'll have to come back to that after. But she's totally. First things first, she's incredibly smart. Like, I was like mind blown during half of it. I was like, fricking, I might actually listen back to this podcast. This girl's incredibly intelligent, and I'm like this mong that works offshore to start a podcast. Anyway,
Aren't we all?
And she's well, obviously she's really, really intelligent for a start, and she's totally basically stripped out back everything and told you why, you know, the industry is so important. I mean, obviously we know ourselves, but she'll go into the underlayers of everything, like, and it shouldn't be in the state it's in, because unfortunately now, you know, there's people, you know, offshore who are out there, and they're earning far less money for a job that even just getting out there is dangerous as it is. I mean, personally, I'm glad I work on boats now. Because
I was a bit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of choppers. I mean, I typically usually fall asleep as soon as I get on them. Like, but I just don't really enjoy going on a chopper back and forth.
No,
That's all now, you know.
no, I'm the same. Yeah, I'm not. I think I went on one last year, and I did not enjoy any of it. Like, thankfully, I'm getting out on boats now. Sorry, but. Yeah, I don't know. I wish. It keeps the wolves from the door. But yeah, and then you're going on to an asset that's, you know, potentially, well, you know, like I was on the Elgin. Shouldn't really said that, but anyway. And the boy I met goes, "This place is like a bomb. It's like a bomb." You're like, all right, okay. If this thing blew up, you'd see it from space. All right, flip it out, mate. You fell right off, like, when you went. Well, died. To be honest, you know what? I'd love to do a podcast on just that one trip, that one job, because that was so. Honestly, you could not write. You could write a story. Yeah, do a big round table on it. You could write a book on what went on that job, could you?
Oh,
you really could. Like,
you could.
Like, you honestly, from the fact that when you got there, we were told, "Oh, you're not going offshore for a week," and everyone was like, "Oh, perfect. Oh, we can't send you home because of the visa situation. Oh, what a shame. So we have to stay in this hotel for a week." Yeah.
As soon as we checked into the hotel, all the stewardesses from every single flight company in the world just arrived. We're like, "Whoa!"
So you're there. We were there for a week, and then to go out there to what can only be described as, like, you know, every man for himself when you got on there, because to find a room to sleep in, because there was clearly no rooms designated for us. I slept in a cupboard for the first 2 nights. Which
use the laundry bag as a duvet. Because he had that.
I remember. I remember I remember when I went out there, and slept in this cupboard which had windows, the weirdest cupboard ever. But anyway, and you could hear the cockroaches running around and stuff like that. It was about 40 degrees. The heat was blaring through. It was just that wee pishy fan that we all seemed to be everywhere. It was so friggin'
hot. The shower, remember the shower?
Shared by about 36 of us.
Yeah.
That was bouffing.
There's so many funny things that happened on that trip. That kind of made it all okay.
But you talk about the mental aspect of that. The little things like at the end of the shift the other day watching Breaking Bad and stuff like that, just to try and make things better of getting through the whole trip and that.
No, it was funny, man. It was really good. One of my favourite things about that was when we were in the hotel and we were sat around the pool, there was a certain somebody taking some pictures and they didn't realise it's attached to the iCloud back home.
Yeah, that was good. That was clever.
Oh, hilarious, man. Hilarious. That's so funny. Oh dear, so good.
I've had a few sort of stories like that are not going very well. What advice do you reckon you wish you had when you first went offshore?
Well, I don't know really. I had quite good advice anyway, because a lot of my family were offshore, and it was kind of destiny, I suppose, if you like. It's like all my uncles and that offshore, and yeah, unexpectedly it happened. Even though it was my goal from when I left school to go offshore, and then it kind of fell by the wayside, and then it happened anyway. So yeah, I don't know. Nothing really sort of concerned me about it or anything like that. I suppose. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know I don't have an answer for that one.
Yeah, I put you on the spot there, but
yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough. You could ask you the same question I asked everyone. I might actually change this question to you actually, because I think I'm getting a bit bored of it. But if you had your time again and you knew what you do now, do you think you still have gone down the same path in terms of where you went?
Yeah, 100%. I would. Yeah, and I would recommend it to anyone that is thinking about it as well. There's still good places to go out there. There's always good people wherever you go. There's always some idiots as well, but take the rough with the smooth, and it can be a very enjoyable career.
Yeah,
it's the people you meet along the way as well.
I think so.
Yeah, 100%. You can't attend for that. Like, this is so good.
Well, yeah, no, I totally agree with that. Like, I think I often think to yourself, like, one day you'll be in your 60s. Retirement age will be 72, so you've probably still got 5 years before I'm done working by then. Still working offshore.
Yeah.
Bit about being in the game for nearly 50 odd years.
Yeah.
But I think I think you will look back at, because obviously that time away, you're never getting back again, are you? It's gone, and unfortunately, there's only one level in the game of life, and I think you really have to really make the most of offshore. I mean, like, even if you're on the 2 and 3s offshore and on a platform in the middle of the North Sea, or talking doing 220 plus days a year, you've got to make the absolute most of them.
100%. You got to grab every opportunity that comes your way as well. I mean, sometimes things don't work out with certain companies, and going self-employed. You're a perfect example. It's like you've got that adventure side of things then as well, and you've also got that responsibility of you've got to go and look for the work now, rather than somebody phoning you and saying, "Oh, I've got a job. You're going offshore next week." You've got to go and hunt for that. So yeah, some people enjoy that. I got a bit sick of it after 4 or 5 years, so I went back to it.
No, unfortunately, I'm in a position now where I don't have to look for it too much. I'm still subcontracting.
But that's it. I mean, you've been doing it long enough now that it's it comes to you basically, I suppose.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say it's like that. Kind of big deal around here.
Yours, opinion.
Yeah, don't pick it up. Bye, mate. Thanks so much for coming on, pal.
No bother, man.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Yeah, it has. It's recollecting on the good old days.
Oh yeah,
many,
we
many,
definitely
many.
need to do that. That Nigeria round table. I know.
Yeah, I
Right.
know. To be fair, I think it would be good. Like, you get Fergie out. Fergie, he'd appreciate that the most, I think.
Yeah.
It was, that was the other thing, wasn't it? That dickhead, right, picked that little sofa bed, didn't he, or whatever he picked in the corner, and he was like, yeah, I'm getting that, right? And
And he was far too.
so it wasn't he got the couch, sorry. He got the couch, didn't he?
That's
So I
right.
was like, right, okay, I'll just take the bottom bunk over here, one of the bunk beds that had been welded together in about 5 minutes or
Aye.
whatever.
5 minutes before we got in that room.
Yeah. And then he was like, this is shite. I'm not staying on here for weeks on end. But then obviously you were on the camp bed and I was on the bottom bunk, and I think
Nick was on the bottom bunk.
Jock or so in there,
On the
or
other
someone
side.
else was on the other bottom bunk and whatnot. So he was on there for the first 4 weeks, and I remember we got off that chopper to go back out after being kicked off for the offloading, and he freaking ran onto the FPSO straight into that room and took my bed. So I was stuck on that pishing sofa bed.
Yeah, sounds about right.
That's when,
Sounds about right.
that's when the two of us were dying, because I was absolutely ill as hell, and I went back out. We were both dying in that room.
Yeah,
Remember,
man, that
sleeping
was-
during the day and stuff. I don't know what happened, but they got malaria or something like that.
Yeah, it's either that or the Jaeger bombs. Like,
Yeah. Oh. Right. Another week, another podcast. Thank you so much for listening. And I'm going to ask one favor, and you're going to get it every week from now on. If you are enjoying the show, then please, would you do me a massive favor to help it? Like, subscribe, follow, whatever platform you're on. It really does help me a lot to see that people actually are liking it. If you don't, that's absolutely fine. You can comment. I'll probably ignore it anyway. Until then, take care, and we go again.